As you can see behind me, there's a huge tree here that they had to cut all the limbs off to try to clear away the power lines. They're trying to restore electricity to folks that live along this road. Here in Kathmandu's Durbar Square, a popular tourist destination, Nepalese I spoke with say they hope this crime doesn't negatively impact their country's reputation as a welcoming place. Kirk, if you ever wanted to know what 40,000 pounds of explosives, fireworks look like, we're witnessing that right now. Well, Lauren, this is very much an active scene. Let me get out of the way. As you can see, the SWAT team is out here. They have set up a perimeter around a house in the 100 block of Coolidge Avenue West. It's that residence that's sitting right behind the red SUV. Police tell us that this all started with a traffic stop this afternoon.
Amy is standing by live now. Amy, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Michigan State Police are here on the scene. I just saw another detective arrive. We've got Sheriff Richard Fuller is out here. I just got off the phone with Under Sheriff Paul Matchis, again, who tells us that there are 4 dead at the Cracker Barrel restaurant here in Oshtemo Township, 2 in critical condition tonight, 2 dead at the Sealy dealership on Stadium Drive. And then that shooting that we covered earlier out at the Meadows Townhome, that woman is in serious condition. Police are asking for the public's help. They're looking for a dark blue or silver HHR SUV driven by a white male in his 50s. If you have any information about this suspect or his whereabouts, you're asked to contact the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Department. Britt, back to you in the studio.
News Channel 3's Amy Hybels joins us live from the Meadows Townhomes in Richland Township. Amy.
Britt, a lot of unanswered questions out here tonight as investigators are trying to piece together what prompted the shooting. Detectives spent hours collecting evidence and photographing the crime scene after a male suspect shot a woman outside of her townhome several times. Neighbors we spoke with say they heard 6 to 8 shots ring out shortly before 6 o'clock.
I said, "What's that noise?" She said, "I don't know." So I ran outside to look, and there was a bunch of people out here, and I seen a lady laying across the street over there. And I figured, you know, she got shot, and she was over there screaming for help, and it's just too close to home.
A neighbor who assisted the victim tells us she was shot in the buttocks, the arm, and the back of the thigh before the suspect fled. Another neighbor who was too nervous to go on camera says the victim told her the shooter asked her if she was someone else before shooting her. Sheriff Richard Fuller says they're not sure of the connection between the victim and the suspect or the motive behind the shooting.
Witnesses advised us that the suspect vehicle had fled the scene and ultimately was involved in a hit-and-run traffic crash down the street.
The Sheriff's Department tells us that they are looking for a light-colored SUV, and they're asking anyone with information to please contact the Sheriff's Department. Fortunately, the victim is expected to recover from her injuries as this investigation continues. Reporting live in Kalamazoo County, Amy Hybels, News Channel 3. That's right, Kate. Both lanes, the east and the westbound lanes of I-94, will continue to be closed for another 12 hours. Let's show you the scene behind me here. We've got fire crews out continuing to try to put out some of these hot spots. This is following the deadly multi-vehicle semi-crash that took place shortly before 9:30 this morning. Investigators are also now out here on the scene. They're trying to preserve the accident scene. Michigan State Police tell us there were an estimated 123 vehicles involved in the pileup, which included 65 semis. Police have confirmed 1 fatality. He is a truck driver out of Canada. 23 people sustained injuries which required hospitalization. Now, when we arrived on scene this morning, there was a vehicle fire involving multiple vehicles in the center of the traffic crash. One witness we talked with says that there were whiteout conditions at the time of the crash.
Because it was watching semi after car just pile into each other. You could see a single thing whatsoever. It was complete whiteout conditions. I'm extremely lucky to be alive right now. The gentleman that was driving the semi-trailer that stopped behind me has been thanked multiple times for stopping. He's the one that protected me and kept me from dying, basically.
Now, evidence technicians are now on the scene as this has now turned into a death investigation involving that semi-truck driver out of Canada. And they've got technicians out of Kalamazoo County and Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety. 6 technicians out here trying to preserve the scene. At the same time, we've got wreckers out here. They're trying to remove vehicles, and there's some hope that later this evening some of the folks that were stranded will be reunited with their vehicles. Back to you guys in the studio.
News Channel 3's Amy Hybels has just returned from Nepal, where she met with an inspector from the country's Criminal Investigation Bureau to learn more about the progress of their investigation. She's live in the newsroom now with more about what she learned. Amy.
Andy, I met with Inspector Bisma Humage in Kathmandu. His agency, the CIB, is assisting the local police in the resort town of Pokhara as they continue to search the Seti River for Dalia Yehia's body. Now, he tells me they were able to track down the suspect who confessed to her murder by tracing cell phone calls made on Dalia's stolen iPhone. Police say 31-year-old Narayan Paudel, a married primary school teacher, confessed to murdering Dalia Yehia last month inside a room he was renting in this apartment building in the resort town of Pokhara, Nepal. Investigators say Paudel told them he killed the 25-year-old by hitting her on the head with a hammer and beating her with a wooden stick while she was sleeping. He then dumped her body into the Seti River. The two had met through the popular couch surfing website. Police say Dalia flew to Kathmandu on July 20th, then traveled to the hard-hit region of Gorkha on August 1st to assist the victims of the deadly earthquake which flattened villages and killed more than 8,000 people. She arrived in Pokhara August 5th, staying with Paudel for 3 days before she was reported missing. News of her murder made national headlines in Nepal. Here in Kathmandu's Durbar Square, a popular tourist destination, Nepalese I spoke with say they hope this crime doesn't negatively impact their country's reputation as a welcoming place, especially among those who come here to help.
It's very, very unfortunate that they killed a person who have come from that far to help us and take her phone and just murder her. It's very, very bad. Because of one person, we should not blame the whole country, but it was an unfortunate event and it should be taken very seriously because, you know, he came here to help us.
Police in Nepal say they're taking the U.S. Embassy up on its offer to send an underwater search and recovery team with specialized equipment to assist in the search for her body in the Seti River. We've learned that following Paudel's arrest, he jumped off the top floor of the district police building in an apparent suicide attempt. He's been hospitalized and police hope to interview him further. Now, they're also still investigating motive. While Paudel told investigators money was the reason behind the murder, the police chief in that region isn't buying it. Chief Hari Pell tells me Dalia's iPhone was stolen along with about 5,000 rupees, which is only about $50 US. She had been staying as a guest in Paudel's home. Police expect to charge him on Friday or Monday with kidnapping, hostage-taking, and murder. Reporting live in the newsroom, Amy Hybels, News Channel 3.
Tonight, our Amy Hybels takes a look back at the lives of the victims and how the survivors are trying to heal.
Just shy of 49 hours ago, they were here with us.
Hundreds packed prayer vigils for the 9 cyclists hit by an erratic driver, 5 of whom were killed, all of them members of the chain gang biking group.
Larry was a cancer survivor and came around really well and was a great guy.
Larry Pollock and Tony Nelson, both active in their faith and the community.
Tony worked with college students and social justice issues to live better lives and help those who were not as advantaged as we are.
Because their hearts were so big that they cared. They truly cared for the parish community and the community at large.
Melissa Thievik Hughes, a loving mother of 2.
Yet her greatest and most important love was for her girls. She lived for them. She cherished them. They had fun together.
She captured many more hearts with her sweet disposition, her winning smile, her humility, her genuine care for others.
Friends of Deb Bradley lighting candles for a woman they say lit up all of their lives.
She was a lover of life, a lover of her family. She was so passionate. I'm telling you, I've never known another person like her.
Her friend Suzanne Sipple, who worked at the W.K. Kellogg Biological Station, was also on the ride that night.
I had the opportunity to see both Deb and Suzanne over the weekend, and both commented to me on how proud they were of Maddie and Lucas. And there's many things I can say, but I know they were so proud of their kids, and they were such good, kind people.
You make beautiful things.
The world was a better place with them, and the world is a worse place without them.
Steve Johnson is also a member of the chain gang. His wife Jennifer is one of the survivors. So is Paul Runnels, who had a long career in animal health care, most recently working for Zoetis. And Paul Gobble, a professional photographer and father, is also recovering.
I think a lot of it hasn't sunk in yet.
Survivor Sheila Jeske is home, healing from broken ankles, broken ribs, but most of all, a broken heart.
We'll never be the same because of it.
By the rivers of Babylon.
Our primary objective here is to surround those who were closest to these people with our love and our support and our prayers.
4 months earlier, 8 people were shot when a gunman went on a rampage through Kalamazoo County. 6 died. Stories of heroism are still emerging from the tragic night.
The mother, the victim in this shooting, to me was a hero. This person put themselves between the children and the shooter.
Survivor Tiana Carruthers, shot multiple times, is looking to her faith and her family for inspiration during her recovery.
I had a strong will to live, because I told myself as I was laying there that I'm going to see my daughter go to her gymnastic classes. I'm going to see my sister walk that stage for graduation. I'm going to help her find prom dresses.
High five.
14-year-old Abby Koff is also making a miraculous recovery.
We were saying our goodbyes at that moment. I put my head on her chest and I told her I loved her. And I told her that our heart beats as one. And if she could feel my heart, that her should start. And within that 5 minutes, she started back up.
Thank you for saving my life. It means a lot to me.
Others were not so lucky. Barbara Hawthorne, or Grandma Barb as Abby called her, was a special education teacher and served in the Peace Corps.
Barbara was love.
Barbara's friend, Mary Jo Nye, had a long career in education and dedicated her life to literacy.
She just really made a difference in whatever community she lived in.
Mary L. Nye, Mary Jo's sister-in-law, was also killed that night.
Love of my life.
Their friend Judy Brown is also remembered for her love of her family and her cats. Her son tells us she was a caseworker for many years. Father and son, Rich and Tyler Smith, had plans to start an auto shop after Tyler's graduation.
Rich and Tyler, they were a lot alike. They both had huge hearts.
They were very loving. They were very caring.
We can't let how they passed away be what people remember.